One of my favorite things to do is explore the deeper layers of relationships with all of you, and Love is Blind Episode 9 gives us plenty to talk about. Hi, I'm Dr. Pam, therapist and passionate couples counselor, and today I'm going to be diving into the real-life challenges that come up when you're building a new family with your partner while still trying to stay connected with your family of origin. Sometimes it's the case that families make you feel you need to choose either your partner or your family of origin. What is it that makes that balance so hard, and what helps make it go right? I'm going to walk you through yellow caution flags with Devin's family, red flags with Monica's family, and some truly beautiful green flags with Daniel and Taylor's families. Each story offers something important to learn. And before we dive in, I just want to acknowledge that Love is Blind is a highly edited show. So everything that I share is based on the moments that we see in front of us. My goal is never to judge anyone, but to explore the dynamics so we can all learn from them. And I truly appreciate the opportunities their stories give us to reflect and grow. So, okay, let's start right here with Devin's family.
Strong in our faith. We're really family oriented. We've taught our kids God's first, have God number one in their life. That's something really big that I always wanted for him. To have a equally yoked, raise your children the same way. With your mom and dad, I'm assuming they're Christians.
Devin's mom clearly has some strong morals and values, and she communicates them openly to Virginia. It seems she has a clear vision of what she hopes Devin's new family will look like. And while I don't know if this vision has been discussed or agreed upon between Devin and his family, but what stands out to me here is the potential tension that could arise if Devin and Virginia's values begin to differ from his family of origin. As they build their own family unit, the question becomes, how will everyone navigate those differences while maintaining connection and respect? It might be helpful for Devin and Virginia to have open conversations, not just with each other, but also with his family about how they can honor both their new life together and their values that they came from. And if moments of differing views occur, it really helps if Devin were to take the lead in communication with his own family, especially if there's any tension.
When it comes to kids, I know you're a bit older, so are you going to do that like right away?
With like marriage roles, do you consider yourself like a 50-50 kind of person where like everybody can do anything, or are you more like a traditionalist?
These questions are deeply personal questions, and they raise some concerns for me around boundaries. There's a meaningful difference between showing interest in getting to know someone and asking about things like age or plans of having children, which can feel like crossing a line, especially so early on. These kinds of questions may reflect a desire for connection, but they can also unintentionally pressure or overwhelm someone in Virginia's position. It is so important to build trust first before moving into sensitive topics like this.
We also entertained like the idea of a prenup. I think that's kind of just like the modern way of doing things. I want to create generational wealth.
Is that why you want the prenup?
What if he lost his job?
Yeah.
How would you feel about that? Are you going to be there for each other when that stuff happens?
I can't help but wonder if Love is Blind actually provided some of these questions because they just feel so incredibly personal for a first-time meeting. I mean, even with a wedding just weeks away, questions like these, especially coming from Devin's family, can feel more like an interview. And to be clear, I am not judging this situation. It's a unique situation, and being on TV must be incredibly awkward. And meeting your child's partner who they're going to marry in a few weeks. But from a relational perspective, these questions seem to come more from anxiety and the need for reassurance than genuine curiosity in getting to know Virginia. For the sake of offering some guidance for you, I would say that questions about finances, age and having children, or how they will handle future hardships do cross into the territory that's deeply personal to the couple. These are intimate conversations that partners typically navigate together over time, not something that is easily addressed in a first meeting or even a one-time meeting. If reassurance is the goal, there are other ways to connect. Questions like, what attracted you to each other? Or when did you know that this felt for real for the two of you? What was it like meeting each other in person for the first time? These questions invite meaningful connection while respecting the couple's boundaries.
So in like 60 years, when mom and dad retire and Devin doesn't want to place him in a nursing home, I'm being kind, Kayla. And he says, I want my parents to move in with us. Is that something that you'd be okay with?
That's a really difficult question to answer, especially during a first meeting. And it really does put Virginia in a tough position. It crosses a boundary because so much about their future is still unknown. How many children they might have, their financial and their work situations. And more importantly, Virginia hasn't had the chance to fully build her relationship yet with Devin's family. Now, it is possible that caring for aging parents is a deeply held value in Devin's family, and perhaps even a value that Virginia shares as well. But these kinds of conversations need to happen gradually, with trust and understanding already in place. Asking a question like this so early on can feel more like pressure than connection. I do want to say that Devin's mom did express happiness and support for them, which is a lovely way to build a deepened connection moving forward. Okay, let's move on to Monica's family meeting Joey.
So, how did you
choose each other?
How did you choose each other? That's a good question.
That was a great question. It gives Monica and Joey an enjoyable way to introduce their relationship to Monica's family. It's light and fun to answer that question, but it also creates an opportunity for genuine connection with her family and insight into their bond.
Why are you single?
There's no filter, but
I want to know why you're single.
Well, that question definitely crosses a line. It's a deeply personal and impossible question to answer in a single conversation. More than that, the way it was asked felt confrontational rather than open or curious. So in moments like this, it's easy for someone to feel put on the spot rather than welcomed into the family. I didn't show it, but I thought that Joey handled it with a lot of grace. He was appropriately open in his response, which says a lot, especially given how uncomfortable he must have felt to be put on the spot like that during a first meeting and on national TV. That kind of question could easily make someone shut down, but he stayed present and composed.
He's not your type. When you look at him, he's not. Not about looks. But even his personality, like, is he the right personality for you? I don't know.
Well, you met him for an hour.
I'm good at reading people.
I know.
The real question is, how can you express concern without creating distance between yourself, your family member, and their partner? Monica's sister doesn't quite strike that balance. So instead of leading with judgment, like suggesting Joey isn't her type, she could ask something like, what drew you to him? Or what did you find attractive about him that maybe surprised you? Questions like these show care and curiosity, and they help keep the lines of connection open even when you're unsure. And to be fair, this kind of misstep is really common in families. When we care deeply, it's easy to let our worry lead us instead of our compassion, our curiosity, and wanting to learn more.
My only worry is you do it, you get married, and then you have to get divorced.
I don't want that. That's not my goal to do that.
Is it his?
It's completely understandable that Monica's sister doesn't want to see Monica end up in a painful situation like divorce. But a more thoughtful way to express that concern without creating distance might be to ask, what gives you confidence that Joey is truly committed to you for the long term? This kind of question invites reflection without sounding accusatory. And when asked with genuine curiosity, it can actually strengthen the relationship by showing care while honoring Monica's judgment in her relationship.
Because I can see him almost being like a really good actor. Like he knows what to say. He knows what people want to hear, and he's really good at delivering it.
Calling Joey an actor can be really alienating, not just to him, but to Monica too. Her sister may not realize that blunt criticism can quietly damage her relationship with her sister and with Joey. If Monica chooses to move forward with Joey and her sister continues to express doubt without sensitivity, Monica may feel torn, like she has to choose between the person she loves and her family. And even if she wants both to work, that kind of tension can slowly pull them apart.
I don't want you to like hate him or like
I don't
not
hate him.
Yeah.
I just don't ever want you to get hurt.
Monica's use of the word hate shows just how deeply concerned she is. She's afraid her sister's disapproval could damage her sister's relationship with Joey. While her sister says she doesn't want Monica to get hurt, the way that she's expressing her concern by turning against Joey may already be hurting Monica. Wanting to protect someone is understandable, but how we show that concern matters so much. A more loving approach might be to say, I want to understand what makes you feel so sure about Joey. And that keeps the connection open while still expressing care.
How did you think the meeting went with my family?
Not great with your sister.
Why didn't you think it went great with my sister?
I just don't think she likes me.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Well, it's not fine.
Not everyone has to like me.
It's not.
You can already see the division forming. Joey says that Monica's sister doesn't like him, and while he says it's fine, that kind of tension can quietly create disconnection within the family. It places Monica in a painful position, caught between the two people she cares about. And when Monica says it's not fine, you can see her starting to pull away from her sister and closer to Joey. It's a dynamic that, if left unaddressed, can lead to long-term strain.
That's up to her.
But she needs to give you a chance.
Did I give a reason for her to not like me?
No.
If so, then I would say, okay, tell me like what I did wrong or what I could have done better.
Well, you did nothing wrong.
Monica siding with Joey is exactly what I meant when I said her sister is putting her in a position where she feels forced to choose. And when people feel they have to choose, they often lead toward the relationship they're building, their future, their partner, even if their deeper hope is to keep both connections strong. You can already see the emotional distance beginning to form, and once that happens, it can be really difficult to repair. The deeper takeaway is this: when sharing concerns with a loved one about their relationship, it matters what we say and how we say it. Even if it's well-intentioned, comments can create disconnection if they come across as judgmental or critical. And it's really important to remember, if things ever do become difficult in the relationship, like between Monica and Joey, Monica may need support. But if her family of origin has not created a safe and open space, she is not going to feel that she can go to them. Communicating with curiosity and compassion helps preserve connection, not just now, but for future moments when it's needed most. Okay, let's see how Daniel's family handles meeting Taylor for the first time.
We're interested to hear about the pod experience and when things started to click.
I really love this moment. Daniel's dad comes across as open and curious and genuinely interested in learning about their experience. His question was thoughtful and showed that he's approaching their relationship with openness rather than skepticism. It's a great example of how to build connection instead of creating distance. So in the next clip, Daniel's mom expressed that she liked the concept of Love is Blind because they have a daughter who was born blind. So they are very aware that looks do not matter. And then she says this.
This will be great for Daniel because I want Daniel to meet a girl and know her heart. But then I thought, I actually really want this for the girl to get to know his heart.
This moment reveals so much. Daniel's mom is not only expressing support for how they found each other, but she is also showing trust and belief in the depth of their connection. By honoring that they chose each other for their hearts, she's reinforcing emotional values over surface level impressions. That kind of support is both rare and deeply impactful. It lays the foundation for a meaningful and loving relationship, not just between the couple, but within the family as a whole. And then Daniel's father asks if Daniel has met her family, and Taylor shares that her family is having a harder time coming around. She's visibly emotional, and this is the response she receives.
Well, you're their little girl.
I think it all comes from a place of like love and
It definitely
wanting
does.
to protect you.
It
And
does.
For sure.
so
Yeah.
we understand it.
Yeah.
This was such a powerful moment. Daniel's family could have responded by criticizing Taylor's parents, saying something like that's awful or unfair, but instead they chose a different path. They showed compassion not just for Taylor, who was clearly emotional, but also for her parents, people who they never even met. Their response was thoughtful and supportive of both sides. And in doing so, they are beginning to build a bridge with a family that will hopefully be part of their lives for years to come. Next, Daniel visits Taylor's parents, fully aware that they are skeptical about meeting him, and I have to say, he handled it perfectly.
I'm trying to put myself in like your shoes, and if like I had a daughter, she came home with a guy that you didn't know, and oh, by the way, they're engaged. And oh, by the way, there's a wedding in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I understand how that would feel.
So, do you notice what Daniel did? He immediately validates Taylor's mom with such authenticity, showing as much understanding as possible for how she might be feeling. He recognizes that he's facing resistance both to him and his relationship with Taylor, but instead of trying to convince her to accept him, he meets her exactly where she is. He leads with empathy rather than persuasion. Honestly, you couldn't have asked for a more thoughtful or respectful approach.
I've just never felt more safe and loved.
That's what we want for you. That's a big job, Daniel.
I felt like I just wanted to make her happy and feel safe for like the rest of my life. I do.
I love this moment because, you know, Daniel was not afraid to be vulnerable in front of Taylor's parents. And in a first-time meeting, that is not an easy thing to do. And you could see Taylor's mom soften when she says, that's what we want for her, and that's a big job. It was a beautiful moment that shows you that when you meet someone with understanding and validation, they can meet you with the same support that you're looking for.
I would just like to just ask your permission to move forward with her.
I do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm just gonna try and love her the best I can.
Thank you.
Sounds like you got those wedding vows down pat.
This made me tear up. It was such a beautiful moment. Taylor's mom clearly came around, and much of that was because of how Daniel approached her. He validated her feelings, acknowledged her concerns, and offered gentle reassurance. It's a powerful reminder that when we lead with empathy instead of defensiveness, we create space for connection and change. Okay, that's a wrap on episode 9. Make sure to come back for more of Love is Blind, where I will be sharing and showing you what family repair looks like, as well as dealing with relationship conflict and so much more. And if you found today's tips helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on love, relationships, and personal growth. See you next time.